So we had a government shutdown occur, and that means Congress couldn't agree on a spending bill. So Republicans are trying to blame it all on Democrats. Democrats are trying to blame it on Republicans. I'm going to break down for you exactly where the blame lies. Now, the most important fact is Republicans weren't even close. So they didn't even get 50 votes, never mind 60 votes. So you had Jeff Flake, Mike Lee, Lindsey Graham, and Rand Paul vote against the spending bill. So all of the grandstanding against Democrats doesn't make much sense since you didn't even get over 50 votes for your side. So you can't even get your side together, but you're going to blame Democrats for not voting for it? Now, again, the specifics are interesting, and we'll get to that. But first, let me tell you who's affected by the government shutdown. So let me tell you exactly what that means, because people like to throw that around without giving you the context and all the specifics of it. So take a look at this. 700,000 undocumented immigrants who are part of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, DACA, will be affected, as there's currently no fix in place ahead for the March 5th deadline. 9 million children who are under the Children's Health Insurance Program, whose parents usually earn too much to qualify for Medicaid but not enough to afford private health coverage, will have less certainty about the future of their health care. About 1.3 million active duty military will be expected to work potentially without pay. The military is currently paid through February 1st. In the 2013 government shutdown, about 850,000 government employees were furloughed each day, and there could be a similar number this time around. 1.87 million civilian government workers could be exempt from furlough, including the workers at the Transportation and Security Administration and food and safety inspectors, Border Patrol officers, and federal prison guards. Up to 417 national park sites could be closed, though the Trump administration is going to try to allow limited access wherever possible. Interior Department spokeswoman Heather Swift told CNN 19 Smithsonian museums could be closed. Now, this is the first time in U.S. history that there was a government shutdown when one party controls everything. So the Republicans obviously have the presidency with Donald Trump, they have the Senate, and they have the House. They control everything, and they still weren't able to get a spending bill passed. First time in U.S. government history. So, again, keep that in mind, because that's an important fact that's being overlooked. Now, the main argument coming from Republicans, at least at this moment, is, well, the Democrats, they're holding our troops hostage. I can't believe they're holding our troops hostage. And that's simply not true. So Mike Pence did a speech where he lied. Paul Ryan has been lying about this on Twitter. Ted Cruz, exact same thing, where they're claiming Democrats don't even want to pay the troops. To fight for illegal immigrants, Democrats are not even paying the troops. Well, you're going to see how true that is in this clip. So yesterday, when the government had already shut down, but in the morning they were trying to work out a deal, and you had Senator Claire McCaskill take to the floor and say the following, and listen to Mitch McConnell's reaction.
Senator from Missouri.
Mr. President, this shouldn't take very long, but I was most disappointed tonight when the President of the United States put out a statement that tried to divide us based on party when it came to support of our military. There is no such division. Everyone in this chamber knows it. And so as we have in other instances where we have had a shutdown, I remember in 2013 we did this right off the bat, I want to make sure that tonight we send a very clear signal that we don't want one moment to pass with there being any uncertainty of any soldier anywhere in the world that they will be paid for the valiant work they do on behalf of our national security. I ask unanimous consent that the Senate proceed to the immediate consideration of calendar number 36, H.R. 1301, that the amendment at the desk providing for continuing appropriations for pay and death benefits for members of the armed services be considered and agreed to, the bill as amended be considered read a third time and passed, and the motions to reconsider be considered made and laid upon the table with no intervening action or debate.
Is there objection?
Mr. President, reserving the right to object, therefore I object.
So there you have it. The main argument coming from Republicans now is they're not the Democrats, these goddamn Democrats, to defend illegal immigrants. They're willing to not pay our glorious troops. Yes. Well, no, they actually proposed doing exactly that, and you rejected it. You rejected it. Mitch McConnell's not in favor of paying the troops. But what's most stunning about this shutdown is the Democrats did the typical weak, spineless Democratic thing of giving the Republicans everything they want, and then the Republicans still said no and spit in their eye. So the main crux of this comes down to whether or not there's going to be protections for the Dreamers. The Republicans keep saying that they're not against the Dreamers, but then they're refusing to do protections for them in any spending bill. So they won't just say it. But the Democrats have laid out the red carpet. In fact, I'm going to show you this tweet here from Dick Durbin. Take a look at that tweet. We're going to be discussing that a lot more today, that tweet. But Dick Durbin rolls out, hey, listen, we're giving you everything you want. Even the fucking border wall. They say, okay, yeah, sure, no problem. We're willing to do the border wall if there's protections for the Dreamers. And the Republicans are still saying no. So the Republican position is, you give me everything, you get nothing, and then I'm going to scold you for not supporting it. What the fuck is that? What is that? I mean, it's amazing how ridiculous they are and detached from reality they are, but also how powerful this is as a strategy. So part of their strategy is just lying. I mean, what they do is they try to do hashtag Schumer shutdown and push it on social media. Of course, it's not catching on as much as they'd like, but they've made it a debate. They've now made it a debate. The polls show the American people blame Republicans for the shutdown way more than the Democrats. But the Republicans are being so aggressive in the framing and the marketing that they're saying, no, it really is the Democrats' fault. And now some people are shrugging their shoulders. I don't know whose fault it is. Maybe it is the Democrats' fault. The Republicans keep saying it's the Democrats' fault. But this is their strategy, and this is what they're good at. Now, the Democrats, on the other hand, do the exact wrong approach. So the Democrats are the person who walks in to buy let's say a $15,000 used car. And they go up to the salesman and they go, how much is this? Oh, it's $15,000. Okay, I'll give you $16,000. Wait, what? Why? What are you talking about? Why would you do that? It's $15,000. That's the sticker price. You're offering above sticker price right away. I don't understand that. Schumer was bragging about the wall. Representative Gutierrez was bragging about the wall. Dick Durbin, yeah, sure, we'll give you a wall, no problem. We'll give you everything you want. Just the only thing we want is DACA in return. And they still say no. And the Republicans still say no. By the way, Democrats, the way you're supposed to fight and the way you're supposed to negotiate, because do you want to win in the next election or not? Apparently they don't want to win. The way you negotiate is you walk up to that used car salesman. How much is this? Oh, it's $15,000. That's nice. I'll give you $9,000. That's how you negotiate. You negotiate. And by the way, you're negotiating from a position of strength in this. So I haven't heard a single Democrat reference poll numbers in regards to the policies that they're fighting for. The Republicans they just keep fucking smearing feces all over the face of the Democrats. And they're like, you're illegal immigrants. You want to protect illegal immigrants. And you're screwing over our troops to do it. Not a single Democrat has said, whoa. That's nonsense. We're fighting for people who were brought here as children. All they know is America. They're wildly productive. They're getting educated. They have jobs. These are good people. And by the way, 70 to 80% of the American people support them. 70 to 80% of the American people are with us. So you, Republican Party, need to go out there and explain to the American people why you're fascists and tyrants and authoritarians, and you want to override the democratic will of 70 to 80% of the American people. This is supposed to be a constitutional republic and a representative democracy. Do your fucking job and represent the people. But no, the Democrats go, listen, all we want is one thing, DACA. That's it. That's all we want is one thing. We're going to give you everything you want outside of that. And the Republicans go, no, we want 100% of what we want, and we want you to fall in line and vote for it too. It's amazing, the political debate that we're having in the country. And this explains why the Overton window, which is the spectrum of debate and conversation that's deemed appropriate, is significantly far right. So we have the Overton window in Washington, D.C., among the establishment in the United States. The right fringe is fascism, and the left fringe is moderate republicanism, is being a center-right person. Centrist, at most. So this is an encapsulation of everything that's wrong with the debate in our country at the moment. So if I were in the Democrats' shoes, what would I do? I would say this is a win across the board for us because, look, the polls show the American people will blame Republicans. I would point that out nonstop and say, you're not going to pull one over on the American people. They know whose fault it is. You control every branch of government. You can't even hold your own caucus, and you're going to fucking say it's our problem? No, this is your problem. This is on your shoulders. The American people already agree with you. Make that case even more so that even more people agree with you. And then I would say, I wouldn't say just give me DACA and that would be it. They're spitting in your eye no matter what. No matter what they're saying, no, you give us everything, no. So, okay, you want to play that game? Let's play that game. How about you're not going to get a single Democratic vote unless you give us DACA, which is 70 to 80% favorability, CHIP, Children's Health Insurance Program, which is wildly popular, net neutrality, 83% of the American people are in favor of net neutrality. Why are you not adding this in the bill? Nope, you have to do protections for net neutrality or you get 0 Democratic votes. 0 Democratic votes. Want me to say it one more time? 0 Democratic votes. Not a single Democrat is going to vote for you, is going to vote for this spending bill unless you have net neutrality in there, because we're on the side of the American people. You are not on the side of the American people. You're on the side of the internet service providers who are destroying our free and open internet. And I would say, protection for Social Security and Medicare. You're going to add a provision in this spending bill that there will be 0 cuts to Social Security and Medicare, or you're not going to get a single Democratic vote. Not one. Not one. Not one. Now, you can say we're extreme, but that's a lie. You're extreme. Look at the poll numbers. The American people are overwhelmingly on our side. So we are representing the people. You are not representing the people. So if you give them a list, and by the way, I'm being overly kind by only having those things on my list, those 4 things on my list, because what happens? Like I said, the people already blame Republicans for the shutdown and don't blame the Democrats for the shutdown. And then when you take these issues and you go out there and message on those issues, you know what happens? Every single person in the country who cares about net neutrality deeply, which is a lot of fucking people, goes, that's it, I'm voting for Democrats in the next election. They're standing on principle, and they're saying, I refuse to give you a single vote unless you add net neutrality into this bill. Older people who lean right go, hey, wait a second, they're saying add protections for Medicare and Social Security? I thought everybody was in favor of that already. Why are the Republicans not signing on to that? Well, I guess I have to go vote for Democrats in the next election because obviously they're the only people who really want to protect Social Security and Medicare. They're making it a big thing in the budget negotiations. You know, every single dreamer, every single American citizen who cares about the issue of immigration is going to go, okay, finally, you're standing up for something. 78% of the American people support this. CHIP, health care for children. I mean, for fuck's sake, if you can't make a stand there, people are going to go, what the fuck are we waiting on here? I mean, what is wrong with the Democrats? Adam Johnson made a great point on Twitter. He said, nobody shows up to a pep rally for a tie. That's effectively what the Democrats are. Come out in support of us, and we'll give the Republicans almost everything they want. Nobody's going to want to vote for you. Nobody's going to care. Fuck it, we'll stay home. Nobody's fighting for us anyway. So it's just pathetic what the Democrats are doing here. Give the Republicans everything they want. The Republicans still say no and spit in your eye, and then they go out and lie about it. So it really is amazing. You could come out of this government shutdown having them on the fucking ropes. They're already kind of scared about what's going to happen in the midterm elections. You could have them shitting their pants. And for everybody who says, no, this is bad politics, how? There was a government shutdown in 2013, and you know what happened as a result of it? The Republicans still ended up winning in a landslide in the next election. So the idea of like, yeah, you're being too obstinate. Well, the Republicans were being too obstinate in 2013, and what happened? They still ended up winning in a landslide. Perhaps because people on the right went, oh, they're willing to fight for what they believe in. God, the fucking polls already bear that out, that people would rather have you fight for what you believe in than just, I don't know, do compromise, bipartisanship, deal, and then we're good. No, those things are not inherently good. Those things are not inherently virtuous. Bipartisanship, making a deal, compromise. What's in the fucking compromise? That's what matters. And the Republicans say, give us everything and shut the fuck up. So your response as the Democrat should be, how about you give us everything and shut the fuck up? How about that, bitch? How about that? Well, and then they go, well, you don't have the numbers to do that. Okay, but I will after I'm done with this argument because I'm going to win this fucking argument because the people want what I want. They're so weak and they're so ineffectual, and the Republicans are so fucking stupid and brash and cocksure of themselves. It's just, oh God, our government is fucking broken. It really is broken. So, there was murmurs, but right before I came on air, I haven't seen the details of it, that Mitch McConnell offered a deal, to Schumer. I haven't seen the details of it, but from what I have seen about it on Twitter, people are saying if they accept this deal, they're the most pathetic people on earth. So, chances are what? If I'm guessing here, maybe they did something like, we'll give you some sort of compromise on Dreamers, like, hey, we only protect some of the Dreamers, 400,000 of them, or some sort of compromise where they give part of CHIP and part of the DREAM Act, and then, it's classic Republican politics. Stake the furthest right position possible, and then demand that the Democrats meet you halfway. And then when the Democrats meet you halfway, you're already on the far right. So what's the point? So that would be my guess. But I'll have to see the details and the specifics of the bill before really rendering a judgment on it. But listen, if I'm the Democrats, those are my demands, and I'm not budging a fucking inch. And so that means you have to do DACA, you have to do CHIP, you have to do net neutrality, and you have to do protection for Social Security and Medicare. And then, by the way, you know what happens when you negotiate from a position of strength? The people are overwhelmingly with you. You're negotiating from a position of strength. The American people already blame the Republicans for the shutdown. You know what happens in that situation? The end result is they give you CHIP and they give you DACA, which is really what the Democrats wanted all along. But in just traditional Democratic stupidity, they started from that negotiation point. They said, all we want is CHIP and DACA, and we're going to give you everything else, including the fucking border wall. Well, now you have to negotiate from your starting position, and you have to cave even more, which is why we're in this position right now. But if your starting position was DACA, CHIP, net neutrality, protecting Social Security and Medicare, then the compromise position becomes protect DACA and CHIP. So they're so bad. And look, it's at the point where when you look at this stuff, it's hard to not conclude that they might be bad on purpose.